Safm, South Africa's news and information leader.
Top stories at the SAWA, government and the media to work together, and Air France cancels flights. Good afternoon. With the news at 5, I'm Lulu Gabu. Government and the media have agreed to work together to ensure constitutional development and democracy. This follows Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe and Cabinet's two-day meeting with the South African National Editors Forum in Pretoria. Motlanthe says they have agreed that engagement between the two groups should be directed towards building national pride without stifling critical public debate. He says they did not discuss the controversial information bill. Disaster management teams are assisting 100 people left homeless by a fire at the Boekse Bos informal settlement in Athlone. Cape Town Disaster Risk Management spokesperson Wilfred Solomons says the possible cause was a burning candle. 20 shacks were destroyed. Solomons says there were no injuries.
The cause of the fire is undetermined by the fire service. However, eyewitness reports from the community indicate that a candle has fallen over, which resulted in the fire occurring in the area. Our disaster teams were on the scene at first daylight to assist the victims with relief, and we want to do a renewed appeal to the public to be extra careful.
Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu has encouraged those who have not yet been counted for Census 2011 to contact the census officers so as not to be left out. Tutu was counted at his house in Milnerton today. He says the information will assist government to plan forward.
They've told me something that is very important for our country, that there is a great deal of enthusiasm on the part of our nation to want to be counted. They say they keep receiving calls from people who are upset. I've not been counted. I want to be counted, which is wonderful. What we want to do now here is to urge those who have not been counted, for goodness sake, please ensure that during the mop-up period you are not left out.
A senior official of Census 2011 meanwhile says they have strengthened education campaigns to eliminate incidents where people refuse to complete census forms, as well as intimidation against enumerators.
We attribute that to improved and increased advocacy and publicity that Statistics South Africa has been able to do, but also quite a number of other community ambassadors. Most of the leaders in the communities have been also very active as ambassadors to make sure that people get counted.
Moving on to international news, Air France has cancelled 1 in 5 flights and warned of wider disruption as a 5-day strike by flight attendants over employment terms began. The carrier has cancelled flights to destinations such as New York, Tokyo, Montreal, Abu Dhabi, as well as cities in West Africa. Transport Minister Thierry Mariani has denounced the strikers, saying they are shooting themselves in the foot by disrupting air traffic in a peak period. Most passengers of cancelled flights are being rebooked on other airlines. Australian airline Qantas has meanwhile left thousands of passengers and nearly 20 world leaders in a lurch after it grounded its entire fleet due to a dispute with unions. Qantas' decision comes at a time when the West Australian city of Perth is hosting the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. The stoppage came as a shock to Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard's government, who appeared to be blindsided by the cancellation and filed an application to block Qantas and the unions. Gillard says the repercussions could be far-reaching.
What we are seeing is a circumstance with this industrial dispute that could have implications for our national economy. Of course, we are also seeing a circumstance where Qantas and its employees and trade unions continue to be in dispute. I believe Australians want to see this sorted out. Businesses want to see it sorted out. Passengers want to see it sorted out. I want to see this dispute sorted out.